A tortoise looks up at the sky and says, "I want to fly." But tortoises cannot fly. They have no wings. They have a heavy shell. So what does Aldrich do? Aldrich lives in a green valley. He has food. He has water. He has soft mud to rest in. But every day, he looks up and watches the birds. He has one big dream: he wants to go up into the sky. One day, a large eagle flies over the valley. Aldrich calls out, "Eagle, please, can you carry me up? I want to see the world from above." What do you think will happen next? The sky was big and blue and full of birds. Eagles flew high above the valley. They moved like shadows on the clouds. They were free. They were fast. They could see everything from up there. "I want to fly," Aldrich said to himself every morning. "I want to see the world from above. I want to feel the wind under me." But tortoises cannot fly. Aldrich knew this. And yet, the dream stayed inside him like a fire that would not go out. One bright morning, Aldrich heard a sound above him. A loud, sharp cry. He looked up slowly. A great eagle was circling in the sky. Her wings were wide and dark. Her eyes were sharp and golden. She was the most beautiful thing Aldrich had ever seen. The eagle landed on a rock near Aldrich. She looked at him with her golden eyes. "Good morning, little one," she said. Her voice was strong and clear, like a bell made of stone. "Good morning," said Aldrich. He felt shy, but also excited. "You are the most wonderful creature I have ever seen. You can fly so high. You can see so far." The eagle tilted her head. "Yes," she said. "I can see the mountains to the north and the sea to the south. I can see the rivers and the forests and the cities of men." Aldrich felt a deep pain in his chest. Not a real pain. The pain of wanting something very much. "I want to fly," he said quietly. "I have wanted it my whole life." The eagle was quiet for a moment. She looked at Aldrich carefully. She saw his heavy shell. She saw his short, thick legs. She saw his slow, careful eyes. "You cannot fly," she said. "You are a tortoise." "I know," said Aldrich. "But what if you helped me? What if you carried me up into the sky? Just once. Just for a moment. I only want to see the world the way you see it." The eagle shook her great head slowly. "This is not a good idea, little one. You belong on the ground. The ground is safe for you. The sky is not." But Aldrich did not listen. He never listened when someone told him no. That was his way. He was stubborn, like all tortoises. Maybe more stubborn than most. "Please," he said again. "Just once. I will never ask again. I promise." The eagle looked at him for a long time. The wind moved through the tall grass around them. A small frog jumped into the river with a soft splash. Somewhere far away, a cow made a low, tired sound. Finally, the eagle sighed. It was a big sigh, like the wind through the trees. "Very well," she said. "But you must hold on. You must not move. And you must trust me." "I will," said Aldrich. His heart was beating fast. faster than it had ever beaten before. I promise I will hold on. The eagle reached down with her strong talons and grabbed the edges of Aldrich's shell. Her grip was firm and sure. Then she opened her great wings and pushed down hard against the air. And they rose. Aldrich felt his feet leave the ground. He felt the cold air rush past his face. He felt his stomach drop, the way it drops when you fall, but he was not falling. He was rising. Up and up and up. The valley below him grew small. The river looked like a thin silver ribbon. The trees looked like little green dots. The path where he walked every day looked like a thin brown line, so small he could barely see it. "Oh," said Aldrich. His voice was very quiet. "Oh. It is beautiful." And it was. The sky was a deep, bright blue above him. The clouds were white and soft and close. The sun was warm on his shell. The wind made a sound like a song he had never heard before but somehow already knew. Aldrich could see the mountains. He could see the forest. He could see a small village with tiny houses and tiny people moving between them. He could see everything. For one perfect moment, Aldrich was happy. Truly, completely happy. "Do you see?" called the eagle above him. Her voice was hard to hear over the wind. "Do you see the world?" "Yes," shouted Aldrich. "Yes. I can see everything." And then, without thinking, without remembering his promise, Aldrich moved his legs. He wanted to swim through the air the way he swam in the river. He kicked his short legs out, excited and full of joy. The eagle felt the sudden movement. Her grip shifted. Just a little. Just for one small second. But one small second was enough. Aldrich felt the talons loosen. He felt the air under him, and then he felt nothing under him at all. He was falling. The world spun around him. The blue sky was below him. The green valley was above him. Then they changed places again. And again. The wind was not a song anymore. It was a roar. A cold, hard roar that filled his ears and his eyes and his mouth. "Help!" he cried. But his voice was taken away by the wind. The eagle dove after him immediately. She was fast. She was strong. She tried to catch him. But Aldrich was heavy, and he was spinning, and the ground was coming up fast, so fast. Before I tell you how it ends, you need to know this. The eagle did not let him fall because she was cruel. She did not let him fall because she did not care. She let him fall because no one can hold on to something that fights against the very help it asked for. That is the part of this story that most people forget. Aldrich hit the ground. Not the soft mud by the river. Not the warm grass of the valley. He hit a flat gray rock at the edge of the hillside. And his shell, his beautiful strong shell that had protected him his whole life, cracked. Not all the way. But enough. A long dark line ran across the top of it, from one side to the other. The eagle landed beside him quickly. She looked at him with her golden eyes. They were full of something that was not quite sadness and not quite anger. It was something in between. "Are you alive?" she asked. "Yes," said Aldrich. His voice was very small now. "I am alive." He lay still on the rock. The sun was still warm. The sky was still blue. But everything felt different now. He could feel the crack in his shell. It did not hurt the way a cut hurts. It was a deeper feeling than that. A feeling of something broken that could never be fully fixed. "I told you," said the eagle. She did not say it with anger. She said it the way you say something true when you wish it were not true. "You told me," said Aldrich. They were quiet together for a while. The wind moved through the grass. The river made its soft, constant sound. "Why did you move?" the eagle asked at last. "You promised you would hold still." Aldrich thought about this. It was a good question. Why had he moved? He had been so happy. He had everything he wanted, right in that moment. The sky. The view. The freedom. And then he had wanted more. He had wanted to swim in the air. He had wanted to do what eagles do, not just see what eagles see. "I forgot," he said finally. "I was so happy that I forgot I was not an eagle. I forgot what I was." The eagle nodded slowly. "That is the most dangerous kind of forgetting," she said. She stayed with him until the sun began to move lower in the sky. Then she spread her great wings and rose back into the air. She circled once above him, very slowly. Then she was gone. Aldrich lay on the rock for a long time. When the pain in his shell grew less sharp, he began the slow walk back to the river. It took him a long time. It always took him a long time. That was the nature of tortoises. But something was different now. As he walked, he looked at the path under his feet. He noticed the small yellow flowers growing between the stones. He noticed the smell of the warm earth after the afternoon heat. He noticed the sound of the frogs beginning to sing as the evening came. He had never really noticed these things before. He had always been looking up. When he reached the soft mud by the river, he stopped. He looked at the water. His reflection looked back at him. An old tortoise with a cracked shell and slow, careful eyes. But the eyes were different now. They were not empty with longing. They were quiet. Not the quiet of giving up. The quiet of understanding. Aldrich lived for many more years after that day. The crack in his shell never fully healed, but it did not stop him from living. He still looked up at the sky sometimes. He still thought the eagles were beautiful. But the fire inside him, the burning need to be something he was not, that fire grew smaller and softer until it became something else entirely. It became gratitude. He was grateful for the warm mud. He was grateful for the clean water. He was grateful for the small yellow flowers and the singing frogs and the silver ribbon of the river in the morning light. He was grateful to be a tortoise, with all that meant, including the slowness, including the heaviness, including the ground under his feet instead of the sky above his head. And sometimes, when a young animal would come to him and say, "I want to be something else. I want to be more," Aldrich would look at them with his quiet eyes and say, "Tell me first what you already are. Look carefully. Look for a long time. Because what you are is not nothing. It is everything you have been given. And the price of forgetting that is higher than you think." The crack in his shell always caught the light in a certain way when the sun was low. A thin dark line, like a river seen from very high above. He did not hide it. He carried it with him everywhere he went, the way we all carry the marks of the moments when we reached too far and fell. Not as a shame. As a reminder. And here is the lesson that lives inside this old story, a lesson that is just as true today as it was long ago. Ambition is not wrong. Wanting more is not wrong. The dream of flying is not the problem. The problem comes when we forget who we are in the middle of chasing who we want to be. The problem comes when we move too fast, when we break the grip of the one thing holding us up, when we try to swim in a sky that was never made for us. Know your gifts. Know your limits. And hold on, very carefully, to what is carrying you. Because the view from up there is beautiful. But the fall back down is very, very real.